Hello once more. We are back for the final symphonic tone poem by Smetana in the collection or suite of them referred to in translation as My Country. And the final tone poem is called Blaník or Blaník. Either way, and apologies for the dubious pronunciation in a lot of these classical reactions, this refers to a mountain in Bohemia, and the legend goes that a Bohemian army was stationed or resting in a supernatural sense within the mountain, and that it would rise when the country was facing its gravest threat, perhaps specifically being invaded by four armies from different directions. I believe good King Wenceslas of Christmas Carol fame is said to lead this mythological army that is under the mountain. So, yes, that's the setting for this final piece. Let's give it a listen. This is Smetana, the final symphonic tone poem from the suite of them called My Country, and it's Blaník or Blaník, and it is performed by the Collegium 1704 and conducted by Václav Lux. Vaclav Lux and the Collegium 1704 absolutely deserve that ovation, though it truly is appropriate to, what's the right word, celebrate Smetana's compositions, because that is just remarkable. I will say, hearing that celebration, and as someone who has been rewatching my watch along of Notame, which is very enlightening to me. One, just because it's a great show, so rewatching it is always fun. But secondarily, I do a lot of watch alongs right into the present, and getting a sense for how I was doing them in the relatively early days is enlightening. Nevertheless, the point is, I always want to hear someone shout "Bravo!" in one of the character voices from the show, because that is, again, a notable feature of the ovations that are given to great performances in the show. In any case, yes, an incredible final movement. I think along the way you can hear the danger that might be facing the Bohemian nation, and the reason why this supernatural army living within a mountain might have to rise up to protect the country at its most vulnerable moment from an attack from all sides. I think you can hear that conflict. I think you can also hear the heroes rising to the occasion. You can hear the epic triumph, the heroic nobility, and even the optimism and peace that is ushered in through their actions. Good King Wenceslas and all the other soldiers. So, yeah, I feel like the essence of the meaning, again, is conveyed very powerfully and expressively through the incredible writing that Smetana did for this tone poem, and again, all of the others. So, what an experience, what a remarkable performance. Again, the idea of seeing these all in succession in a concert is surely a privilege that more people deserve to have. Doing this reaction in sequence, which again was a big idea for the classical days, so that they wouldn't be spread out. Now, again, when I go back to my regular rhythm and flow of reactions, to albums and pop songs and rock songs, I will continue to do classical reactions the way I had done before, meaning one every so often, one every, hopefully, no more than a week or so. But yes, it's nice to do a special series like this. And incidentally, I don't know how many people who are following these classical days may be interested. Surely Michaela and Yvonne and maybe some others, but I will be doing something similar, maybe a couple months down the road or so on, but punk days and maybe eventually techno days and some other interests where it'll be nice to do some focused series of reactions. Although again, once I complete these classical days, for the next couple months after that at least, I'll be doing my regular things. So I appreciate the allowing me this indulgence, and for those who are interested, I am very thankful. Once again, thank you to Michaela for sending this CD. Thank you to Smetana for gracing us with the love, passion, and honor that comes across in his Bohemian tunes in this suite of My Country. So, once again, thank you to all who've been following. Do let me know what you think, and I'll be on to another piece right after this. Peace.